I'm Richard Zucchini1. Yes. And coming online to talk about Shenmue here. So, the theme of this video is going to be if I earned it, then should somebody else be arrested? And I'm talking multiple people. Should multiple people, if I earned all that I claimed, then perhaps somebody else should be arrested. Yeah. Because, well, who am I? If I'm that, even in my history, if I'm that, this Ryo Hazuki and what they call Jin Kazama, even in my history, you see, history, it doesn't lie to you. And the thing about history, you know, it stays with someone their whole lives. Like me, I can never get over myself. I have permanent memories in my mind that I remember being glorious, awesome, magnificent as a martial arts warrior in person in the memories in my history. So I just don't get over myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm full of myself. I'm a little arrogant, but that's because I earned that. You see, so for someone to just do the moves of Shenmue, you know, it's got to have some significance to those moves, to the history of these moves or something. There has to be some significance. And there really is significance to it. But, you know, what can I prove? You see, this is how the people that I've mentioned before, and I did say their names, but to me, they get away. Legally, they're breaking the law. They're like, when I say legally, they're breaking the law, it means legally, it means two different things. It means illegally, they're breaking the law, and legally, they're breaking the law. So it means they're breaking the law, they're illegal, and they're legally getting away with breaking the law, you see. So they can get away with collecting my royalties, my copyrights, all that I earned on one piece of paper. People can just get away with that. And they can do basically whatever the hell they want. You know, I mean, if the United States government doesn't care about me, doesn't care that I'm American too, they just push me to the side and just say, get out of the way, Ryan. You're nobody. These special, select people are better than you. They're more special because we deem them to be that way. Oh, do you? Now, that's the problem here. I earn something significant, and I don't get none of it. But why? Why don't I get none of that? Well, my guess is as good as a beaver in the forest. You know, if the beaver can find wood to peck on, maybe I can find a pillow to hump. You know, because if I can find a pillow to hump, then sure as the world, a beaver can find a log to peck on. You see, I can't get what I need in life, but the beaver can, it's like, I'm like as one of these forest animals. I live in a forest to me, okay? I live in a forest in this community called Riverview, Michigan, and I don't I'm not getting my money, you see. So what have I been doing? I'm looking into investing. I'm doing that. That's where my heart's at now. Investing, making money with that. And, like, if I cannot collect what was supposed to be going to me, royalties, if I cannot collect that in my name, then that also means that my name is tarnished. My name is ruined for the rest of my life. My reputation is ruined for the rest of my life. I mean, hell, I can't even get for me to get a girlfriend or whatever, or sometimes, okay, so like in my history, I'm talking like in my history, and I don't even know what to say sometimes, but like, for me to really know that I'm with someone, to really be with someone, and I was in a fake relationship. You're looking at somebody that was played under a large-scale scheme, a large-scale plot. That's a scheme to ruin my whole life, to take everything away from me. Because why? I don't know why. It's just beyond me, that, okay, I'm supposed to get a lot of money for what I contributed. And then I hear lately about, it happened in history, that in 2003, Sega became bankrupt. Why would Sega become bankrupt? Is it the fact that they paid out so much royalty money for the Shenmue to some people that didn't earn it or deserve it at all? At all. At all. There's probably people that collected royalties for Shenmue, didn't earn none of it, didn't deserve none of it, but yet they get paid for it because, this Ryan guy, let's give him this song called Undead Noid. And if you translate that song, and if you translate sympathy from Shenmue the animation, you're going to find that this person appears to be psychotic. They claim I don't know if they claim it, but I'm not really claiming it, but that's the thing about me. I deny that because I'm aspiring to be, the mask of normality. Like, I'm normal. In my mind, I'm normal. Maybe I do take medicine for blood pressure. Maybe I take medicine for sugar diabetes. But to me, it's the same as one pill for depression or something, And literally, that's all I take is one pill for the mental illness. I take one tiny pill for mental illness, but I don't think it's a reason for people to be afraid of me, for people to think I'm insane or nuts. Take one tiny pill. One little pill. Can you imagine that? And I don't think it's a reason for me to have a hard time getting a date. If I ask a girl, I'd say I get enough ambition again to go to college, and I want to study with someone or whatever. It may just go as far as studying, but see, that's where it's harder for me these days. When I'm not looking like this Ryozuki from the back, is one you always see him from the back in Shenmue 1 and 2. And I'm not looking like this guy, okay? But I am this guy, always in my history. So, to me, I'm that guy. because I remember being that guy. And probably because the sexiest part of my body was probably the back of me more than the front of me. I don't know which one was more sexier. The back of me, the front of me, and probably was I more sexy with my clothes on or off? I don't know. I could have been more sexier with my clothes on or off. That's the debate. See, I can't figure that out myself. Probably I was sexier with them off. But I was so sexy with them on. You could see my muscles with them on, literally. When I had the money, not the money, but when I had the youth and the health, and I could still have that with money, I think, with the royalties that I never received. But if I can get money in another way, you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm trying to invest my money, get into business. That's one reason. But another reason to get into business is to have a living, to take care of my life, to buy toothpaste, to buy, to buy hair product, to buy, soap and shampoo, whatever. I mean, I still have a life, and I can still live my life somewhat, but without the respect in life, without the money that I had earned. Well, it's really hard to do anything about your life, You see, so I can't just claim this. Essentially, I can't just claim this when my teachers, quote unquote, when these teachers, my teachers, no longer respect me because I believe they were bought out. Here's money. They were bought out by some sources. And I know of some sources. I think I do. I don't like to give reference to them, really. But I think they have power in some southeast Michigan and maybe different parts of the country. They have power. In the world, they have some power. That's the problem I got. Is because, I think my teacher misunderstood me when, he's thinking I wanted to help a family. I didn't really know what to say to him because, there's only so much time when you're changing your clothes and then going in the karate class to be a superhero. Literally, that's what I felt like I was going into the battle, going into like like going to war, literally, with my martial arts dobak on. I felt like I was a warrior. And I didn't feel like a regular human being just putting on the dobak and doing fancy moves, jumping high in the air, kicking really hard, really fast, really talented, really gifted, really special, really perfect form, really perfect body. I didn't feel like, I was anything less than perfect, but above and beyond perfect in so many superior ways. So, I just, to remember this talent that I do possess still in my body, I think it's in me, but I can't just tap back into this talent if other people are wanting the money that is supposed to be the key to what would give me this ability to be Shenmue, to be Ryuzuki. See, the royalties is what's supposed to keep Shenmue alive. And that was supposed to go to me in my name. I'm significant. Those karate teachers are insignificant if they don't respect me for who I am. They're nobody because they just collected the money and they got the proof probably. If they do have the proof, well, thank you. There's somebody for that. They're supposed to stand up for me, those karate teachers. Those karate teachers are not supposed to have the right to take this from me. If they do think they have that right, well, they need to explain it to me real thoroughly. And they need to really do something for me special because I did something for them. If they collected money and they sold this fight choreography off to Sega and they sold this off to certain entities that is not helping me, you see. So what happens to me? I get online. I can't because I can't get a job. I can't get a job. I've got this something called this for my mental health people. The ACT program is helping me to look for a job, but I still can't get a job because I've got this. Oh, there's a law firm, I believe, probably my neighbors. You know, they know about this Shenmue, and then they don't say nothing ever. And then I got this girl I dated in my history that doesn't want to say nothing. And I got other people in my history that don't want to say nothing. They just collect the money for Shenmue, for that degree that I earned. They collect that money in royalties and copyrights and whatever the hell it is. And what do? I'm left with no money, with zero, zilch, nothing, nada, not shit. And then what do I get out of it? I get sick as hell over it. I get mad about it. It makes me sick inside. I get the opportunity to do a karate tournament, but I'm not really prepared for it because, well, I don't have the money. I mean, damn it, I should have had money to be closer to this karate dojang in Westland or Plymouth, if that's where I was going. I should have had money for my own house, for my own car, for my own shit if I'm going to be in Michigan, which I never should have been in Michigan to begin with. I always should have been in California for many years ago. If I was this Ryu Hazuki guy, I never would have been humiliated at a karate tournament that, you know, I go up against this guy who has a lot of talent because he's trained and he's got everybody supporting him, probably just because of the fact that he's Japanese. I don't know why, but he's worshipped. And to me, he's probably worshipped. You see, my talent was very worshipped that year, very envied that year. But what do I get out of it? Nothing. I get nothing because other people wanted my money. They wanted my money. Yeah. I mean, you imagine that. Imagine that. You earn the talent. I created the Shenmue tornado kick. I know I'm not doing it as perfect as I need to, but I'm on the right track. Ooh. I'm on the right track, yeah. And not only that, I'm doing the 3-kick streams, and I'm pretty much doing them the way they need to be done with the form, but I don't have the same power, the same body that I need to be the awesome talent, because I don't have the money to invest in that, to invest in myself. See, this money for royalties was supposed to be invested in myself. I explained to this karate teacher, the first one, I won't say her name. You're like a beam of light coming through the window, but a vague ray of hope. I didn't say her name, did I? No. You see, this is the problem I got, okay? This karate teacher is also a 5-0 policeman. And then he's collaborated with this law firm that are his royal relatives, to the best of my knowledge. Yeah. And then it's all this time goes by, and then there's this girl going back 20 plus years, 2002, 3, 4. So for 3 years I dated this girl. She knows about this karate teacher. She has a sexual relationship or some kind of relationship with him. Well, she's been banging everyone, to my knowledge. Yeah. She's like that. Girls are like that. They don't say that. They're not no angel. No. Angel. You know, it's disgusting to me that they get away with this crap. What do I get? I get bad luck. For many, many years, I get bad luck. It's worse. It's like more than 3 times worse. Because if I go back 21 years, that's still not, let me think. Yeah, if I go back 21 years, I'm talking going back to 2002 or beyond that. If I go back 21 years, I might as well have broken 7 mirrors. Is it 9 years of bad luck or 7 years? I don't know. But whatever mythical information is out there about the mirror, I always would look in the mirror in that bathroom, and I would like look at myself being sexy. Maybe that's how they got the idea of making Shenmue. I don't know. They don't talk about me enough. You see, Sega is not talking about me. Now, if there is leaked information about the history of these video games, documents, I read something about a 272 page documents that's leaked about the creation, the 1990s creation of these Sega video games. It's leaked in Sega. If you look up on Google, you'll find something about that. I don't know how to research that correctly to find out about that. Somebody did tell me they think I'm leaked in that. I think that they think I'm mentioned in those documents. I never spoke to that guy from Canada again. I think that's where he was from. So, it's got me disappointed, this Shenmue, a lot. It's got me happy. Let me say this. I'll talk about a few good things about my teachers, okay? And let me declare this. I don't hate my teachers. I don't hate them. I don't think they're nobody. I don't think their lives are insignificant or nothing, but I don't know what they think of me, to be honest. I don't really know what they think of me in some ways, but maybe they think my life is insignificant in a way. Maybe they think I've served a purpose of making them money and they don't want to be too mean to me and have the power to do something crazy. I don't know. I just know, what I do know is that these teachers are from a prominent karate federation that the Chuck Norris, aka Carlos Ray, is also from this federation in America, and it has ties to South Korea. You see, so when I talk about this, it's not just meaningless. It has a lot of meaning and depth to what I'm saying. So, this karate is not about fighting. It's about morality. It's about ethical values and your morals and your principles that you live by as a human being, to be a good person, a good man. Whether you're a man or woman, we follow a code of ethical values that we're very ethical people in our federation. But when I come in the dojang and I present a talent that's past black belt talent, that's like matched equally or unequally above and beyond matched these with the talents of their best dons at the dojang in the 1990s, then the question raises, well, what are we going to do with this guy? We don't know what we're going to do with him, because he's so gifted, he's so talented. I'm talking about myself. These teachers are saying, I heard them saying that, and they told this to me. They're saying, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, Ryan. We don't know what we're going to do with you. Don't come back here, because you got too much talent in our school, our dojo. We don't know what we're going to do with you. And so I was a little offended or hurt by that. But if I'm, if my body and the oils in my body, whether it comes out in my body emits oils, it's your essence, your oils, and your coming from your body. But whatever comes out of me must be like have the Midas touch too. And that's what I'm saying. I'm really gifted that year. I'm really special that year. And for all this to for people to think it's wasted, for people to think that it's gone, for people to think that, oh, there's something wrong with me because, then I dated this girl that was part of this karate teacher's life, didn't say nothing to me about it for 3 whole years. And then during that 3 years, we never had an intimate relationship at all, really. We barely had anything. We barely did anything, but it was nothing really intimate at all. It's just like a bad experience for me. But then she's that way with every other man or guy. Should I say guy? Because I don't think they're all men that she had sex with. It offends me in the deepest way, but it really rings a bell that, yeah, this girl's playing you, Ryan, and I wish you would have seen through it, but you didn't. So she wins. Ding, ding, ding. Winner. Girl that rings a bell. Yeah. It's terrible for me. For me, it's terrible because my reputation is ruined. I mean, if I got these problems where people think, oh, all he does is masturbate. All he does is masturbate. That's another problem I got. So, this is what I would tell these ACT people too that are helping me with my therapy. I've got so many problems because Sega made me Ryo Hazuki, but they didn't give me the credit. Now they're officially saying it's Corey Marshall because he's the voiceover actor. Am I right? Is that the only claim they have for him? Because I don't see Corey Marshall doing these moves. But he is a good friend of mine on Facebook, and he's a cool guy to me in a lot of ways. I like Corey Marshall a lot. But I'm doing the moves. He's doing the voiceover for this Ryo Hazuki. Ironic as it is, he's from the same state of Texas where my family's from. I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican. And he's from where I have some relatives called an uncle in San Antonio, Texas. He's originally from there, Corey Marshall. And, I know he's a Texan. He's like my brother to me, Corey Marshall. But it's just, the fact remains is that I'm this guy in my history. I've done the moves. But I don't know where the oblivious proof is of this Shenmue, if it'll ever come out, and if it'll ever be admitted to the right authorities and presented correctly, if it's out there really, because it's been 30 years, everybody. I started training martial arts in July of 1995, 30 years ago. That's when I started to train to become this Ryo Hazuki. And happy anniversary for Retro Ryuzuki 81. I officially became Ryuzuki. I officially started to be Ryuzuki in July of 1995. Yes, I have medals to prove that I trained in 1995. I have an ID card that proves I trained in 1995. I had an undocumented degree that had a Kanagawa Wave background prefecture of the degree, and it had a Korean translation, a long translation, perhaps in Chinese and Japanese too. And I had all kind of awesome claims. I was to be given vintage toys that were Japanese vintage toys. I was supposed to be given the Hazuki residency in Kanagawa Prefecture. I was supposed to have royalties. I was supposed to have copyrights. I was supposed to have so many things. But because I had shown my teacher, I think, in my opinion, that I also have depression, anxiety problems. You know, I did my research on this. I look back now. I did my research on this problem that men can have of masturbation. And let me say this, I don't masturbate. That's not all I do. And that's not even what I do, like ever, pretty much. But, you know, I've done my research on this problem with men's health and masturbation. If a man does that, he gets anxiety problems. He becomes socially isolated. Do your research on this in urology for men's health. He gets he gets depression, anxiety problems. He gets isolated from society. He doesn't talk as much. See, I'm living like I'm still 14. But that's the problem I got. You see, I never was introduced to the world correctly. I don't want to blame nobody but myself, but at the same time, I wish that my introduction to the planet would have been something that was not so abruptly uncertain. Okay, that's my problem too. So, you know, I think actually that I could be this guy in a lot of ways and have my own Shenmue movie, even if it's just Shenmue 1. Even if it's just Shenmue 1 and 2, or just Shenmue 1. You see, like, I think I could even make a great documentary, but I think I could even re-become this Ryozuki guy if I had the money and the peace and the talent and whatever it takes to be this guy, according to science and human common sense. I think I could be that guy literally again. And I think I could literally be a very respected Ryozuki, a cool one. You know, there's ways I can get on television, and there's ways I could do this, but you gotta have money. You gotta have some respect from where you're from. You gotta have the proof. You gotta have something. I can't just do this and then, you know, where I'm coming from, people are saying, oh, that Ryan Salazar, he's nobody. He's nothing. I don't want his sperm in my daughter. I think people are actually saying that because I can kind of hear this shit when I'm eating at a restaurant, you know. So there you go. Life's not all it's cracked up to be. Life's not easy when you're not given what you earned in life because of a status. What is my status? Ooh, Salazar. What is that? That's Spanish. Really? Oh, he's not really that. We'll call him half-breed Inuyasha. I don't know what people were figuring with me, but I mean, I'm sorry to disappoint if I can only meet you halfway, but I think that's why I met people halfway, because there's something more to me. And I can't really present myself correctly if I just can't do it. You know, like, I don't know how to explain it. My race does not have anything to do with my talent. Overall, I'm American. Yeah, but you know, that's what I'm saying. Overall, I'm American, but I identify myself as Hispanic too. It's just that, you know, I can't like properly present myself the right way if I'm not respected, and to begin with, initially, I'm not even respected for like a race problem or some kind of status, you know, discriminating problems that America still can't break away from. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. You see, so yeah, it's just you know I'm here. I look like I'm at I look like I'm at some kind of a home, like whatever. I don't know what I look like. I don't care what I look like, but I care. But I don't even have the money right now. Right now I don't have the money to properly present myself with a background of like a gamer background, like a game room, like computers in the background, posters, everything, the right tripod, all this going on for me. That has to be bought with money. It has to be. I have to be presented correctly and all that. It takes something more that I have to have with money. Now, for me to work and get a job, that's another problem. I've been trying to work and get a job, but in where I'm from, in my area, I just can't get a good job. I just can't get any job. I applied at McDonald's, and they wouldn't hire me. Right here in Southgate, Michigan, I applied there. I had the interview. I thought they were going to hire me at McDonald's. They didn't hire me even. So when people say, you're just a lazy bum, go get a job. I would work here at McDonald's if I were you. You're such a lazy, useless piece of shit, Ryan Salazar. Go work at McDonald's. Well, excuse me, but I can't just work at McDonald's if they don't want to hire me because I'm some status that I don't know what it is. Maybe if it's not my race, it's my disability. Maybe if it's not my disability, it's my martial arts history from these karate teachers that deny me everything in life. They deny me my royalties. I mean, hell, I've got a lot going on. I got a lot on my plate that is making me feel like I want to puke every day. Because, like, literally, I don't feel like that, but it makes me mad that I've got the history of these martial art teachers that don't stand up for me. I got that. I'm supposed to be rich, respected, somebody in life, royalties, copyrights. I'm supposed to have that paid for. People that are in Hollywood and do these things for the martial arts industry, they have royalties for that. They have copyrights for that. I don't have that because I'm not represented correctly, you see? So I don't have that. I don't have my race represented correctly. I don't have the status of my he's got a disability. Oh, he's disabled. Oh, he's bipolar. 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 I feel like people are retarded to say that. He's got bipolar. He's got bipolar. I feel like people are so freaking retarded to say that about me because they don't know me. For one, they don't know me, and two, they don't have any right to discriminate. And that's just the way I see it. Where do you get off discriminating? People that are saying that about me, it's like, you don't even know me, and what gives you the right to discriminate in America? You're an American citizen. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Let's not discriminate against one human being that's undocumented. The undocumented martial arts degree. Oh, let's not discriminate, right? But yet, I get discriminated against. And if even if Donald Trump himself were to say, something to me like, well, you don't like it here, get out of the country. Well, this is the problem I've got. A very unique problem that goes back to the Bill Clinton presidency, times. 1995, he was the president. It wasn't Donald Trump. I don't want to say nothing about Donald Trump. I just, you know, I just want to say that it's like a problem for me that I had earned royalties in America. I'm American too. I had earned royalties. I don't get my royalties for Shenmue, for Sega, for Bandai Namco. I did these awesome moves. I did this. My karate teachers misrepresented me. They never presented this correctly to me. There was never any time. There was never nothing we could really make of this, because it was misrepresented to me. And then I'm supposed to have royalties, and I don't get my royalties. And yet I'm doing these moves again for Shenmue, and I know I had earned the degree, but then I don't have it now because everybody in my history was jealous and wanted the damn thing. So that's another problem I got. Yeah, I don't want to really talk about Donald Trump. I think he's helped I think Donald Trump has helped the country in some ways, but in other regards, I don't want to say nothing good or bad about him. I just, I'm wanting to perhaps maybe be a California resident one day, but I do feel kind of bad for, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. That I've even heard about the fact that Elon Musk is having his Tesla car dealerships. People are they're blowing up. They're destroying these cars on a car lots or something. Vandalism, whatever. These Tesla car dealerships. I don't like to side with politics right now with the way California is, with the way Washington has been, with the way the world has been and this country. I don't even like to say I'm Republican. I don't like to say I'm Democrat. I don't even like to say I'm independent. I just like to be neutral, pretty much. I don't even know who to side with, honestly. Now, there may be some things about the Trump administration that I like that he's doing for the planet and the country, but there may be some things that maybe I don't agree with, too. Well, you see, I don't even like to talk about politics right now, especially because I have a special love in my mind, in my spirit. I have the martial arts spirit in me still. I love California. You see, I love the martial arts. I respect the martial arts. I don't respect fighting. I respect the martial arts. I'm very old school in that regard. But it just is maybe misunderstood to some people that, oh, this guy, he just likes fighting and hurting people. No, that's the dogmatic, well, it's not dogmatic, but that's just the ignorant belief that some people may have about me, the ignorant stereotype, I could say. And I'm not that way at all. I have respect for the martial arts. I have the martial arts spirit in me. I don't disrespect the martial arts. It's just fact of myself, my legacy, my history, who I'm supposed to be in my history is this Ryozuki guy. That's the problem I got, is that, and I can take off my glasses and you can see, you look at my face enough, you look at my eyebrows, you look at that, there's even the medical system, I believe, too, that has helped legal authorities and my karate federation, whatever. There's a whole collaboration with me in my history to help make this Shenmue. My medical system knows about my medical history, about my martial arts history. The medical system knows a lot about my martial arts legacy. I've told doctors for many years, I've told psychiatrists and therapists, I had a really good talent for the martial arts. Then I started taking this depression medication, and it ruined my life. It took everything from me because I have to take medicine or I have to do something to get better. I should have been having sex with girls, with women, to relieve anxiety naturally, healthy, to relieve depression problems. I should have did that instead of just taking medication. Had I known that, I would not have only taken medication. But I didn't know that, so I'm doing what I'm doing, just taking the pills, and I'm not having sex. I'm not doing girls that have big breasts and big butts and all that. That's what my karate teacher told me to do. He said, Ryan, what you do if you like girls that have big breasts, have a long neck, have big thighs, thin waist, pretty face, nice hair, talk to them. You talk to them and you ask them out and you just get to know them, and then you get to know them enough, and then you have sex with them, and then they help you. He says in the changing room, he says, and they'll take care of you, Ryan. They'll feed you, they'll comfort you, they'll be there for you, they'll love you, they'll respect you. There's times I vaguely remember my first karate teacher saying this. I have a lot of respect for him in that regard. I have a lot of love for him in that regard. But at the same time, I have a lot of disappointment in myself for not understanding this enough, for not remembering it because I didn't remember. I lost my memories. I suffered amnesia from a trauma. I dated this girl that had all those things, but she was from the same karate class, and then she wants those royalties too. I remember and realize this finally, and then when it's too late, I don't get it. So I don't know this girl's life, what it's like now. For all I know, she might have 10, 7, 8, 10, 20 different children from different men. That's no lie. I think that about, and her name is Bakihama. I'm just kidding. And her name is whatever. I think she may have up to 25, 30 different kids with different men. Or 50 different kids, or 100 different kids with different men. I think she lives in like the old times of the Bible or something. How many? I don't know. Because I don't know. She's very well proportioned out. She's a fitness trainer. I don't say her name, but I just know that I'm played and I'm lied to, and I was never compensated, nothing, for what I have done. I'm supposed to be continuously compensated for being this Ryozuki, for being this Jin Kazama. I'm supposed to be continuously. What does that mean? That means I'm supposed to have ongoing royalties the rest of my life. Not even after work. Now, this was never explained to me correctly, okay? I have a big problem with this. A very big problem with this. It could have went to some guy named Handy Andy. And I don't know, maybe he's real handy. That store shut down, didn't it? Handy Andy? Griffin? Irish? I don't know. I don't even know. But I do know that store shut down, yeah. So, I'm just saying, you can have somebody who's real handy, who's real gifted, and yes, probably electrician, I'll just give that as a random example, is like what they really need in this world. They do need more electricians. But, you know, who am I? Okay, let's talk about that. What did I do with my lifetime? I actually went into a karate dojang, a school, a martial arts school. It is a military campground too. I actually went into a martial arts school, and I impressed the holy hell out of my teachers. I really impressed them. I made a very strong impression to these karate teachers. I displayed different martial arts in multiple different systems. Different karate systems, Muay Thai, Capoeira a little, Kyokushin Karate, Taekwondo, Tang Soo Do. Different martial arts systems I did moves for. What happens is we have these talks in the changing room. Then we have some agreement that's unstable. There's our agreements. So we have that established there, but then we don't follow through with this because there's only so much time in the changing room. And then I don't believe they really followed through with this agreement with me because they didn't pay me nothing, and they never did. But then what happens is they make this game called Shenmue. Shenmue 1 and 2 is my fight choreography. 3 too. 3 too. But I don't talk about that. Okay. Now, Shenmue 1 and 2, for sure, $47 million to $70 million is what Shenmue 1 and 2 made. Well, $47 million to $70 million is what was used to create Shenmue 1 and 2. I want to drop the phone. Yeah. $47 million to $70 million was donated from the Japanese government and other entities and sources in Japan to create Shenmue 1 and 2. Now, I don't know if it was just Japan, because I think it had to have come from America too, because these are the same moves I did. Those 3-kick strings, I did those moves. It must have been hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times. I did these moves. The 3-kick strings might have been done by me over 1,000 or 2,000 times in karate class within 5 or 6 months. That's no lie. Yes. So, if I can recall correctly, yeah, I think me and this one teacher, I will say his name, Joey LaJoyce. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I think me and Joey did these 3-kick strings. We both did the 3-kick strings, me and Joey. But I did all the other moves. The dragon spin, the mud spider, and I did 3-kick strings. He did 3-kick strings. So let's go back. We both did these 3-kick strings, me and Joey, because I copied them. What they were doing in class, I copied those 3-kick strings. But that's the only thing I copied, in my best of my memory. I copied the 1 and 2 Shenmue 3-kick strings from Joey. And I copied some of those other black belt moves they did, but they're natural to me because I'm that gifted. That's how gifted I am. So the 3-kick strings I did, I don't know who did them first. I might have did those moves first. But I don't know, because I also displayed Kyokushin Karate moves naturally. I also displayed Taekwondo moves naturally. The teacher wondered why I was doing Taekwondo one time after class. He said, "Where did you learn the Taekwondo?" I said to him, "Oh, I didn't know I was doing that. What are you talking about?" That's how natural karate comes to me. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just do it. Like Nike. and I'm wearing Reebok, it's not there, but like Nike, I just do it. So Dragon Spin at the time, just do it. Mud Spider, just do it at the time. Crawl Cyclone, I can do it today. I don't know if I did it that long ago, but I can do it today. Thunder Kick, that was my move. Tornado Kick for Shenmue, that was my own move. I can do the Ryozuki's victory move, the Muay Thai kick, the height, sure. I can do that. Just have to back up after I do it to do it correctly. See, some of this martial arts that I do does take a little instruction from the teachers, but I pick up on it so fast, that it comes natural to me anyway when I'm properly trained. Now, I only wanted to present myself correctly in the martial arts world and industry. That's why I went to a different karate federation to get my training, but then they were too far away to even get the training to begin with for me. So I can't just always drive for different reasons. I can't just drive an hour and a half away every time, hour away, whatever, however far they were away. I can't just make that trip out there, an hour and a half to the training grounds, hour and a half back, because I have probably my own problems that I deal with myself, like anxiety. So, I can't get a woman to comfort me around here. They don't dare go near me, so I suffer anxiety problems. Yeah. It's just, it's that way. So I did a lot of them. Okay, to my knowledge, at some time or another, I did a lot of the moves, a lot more of the moves than the 3-kick strings 1 and 2. But I did all the moves. Okay, to me, I did all the moves for Shenmue 1 and 2, including the 3-kick strings. But I do remember that one Dan teacher I said, and his name is Joey, I'll just say that. I remember him doing the 3-kick strings of Shenmue 1 and 2, somewhat. But I remember myself doing them too. And I don't know who did them first. But they would see, this is how it worked. In karate class, the Kyosan-nim, the head instructor, the certified teacher, he would say, Doiro Chagi, Anusupaku Chagi, Chongnan Koku Kyok, Haramaki, Songnan Maki, Anusupaku Chagi, or Paksuano Chagi. He would say the moves in Korean, and the blocks, and the strikes with the hands, and the kicks. And you just commence, go forth and do them. Begin, and do the moves. And then at the end, you're like, Phew! And then you turn around, after the teacher says, he says, Shishak. You turn around, and then you come back to fighting stance at some point, whatever. It comes back to me like riding a bike, but it comes back to me naturally because I've done this for Shenmue and the martial arts. And so that's what happens with the fight choreography, you see. So the theme of this broadcast is going to be, let's have a long conversation. No, this is going to be like I'll give this broadcast the right name. It's like this broadcast, this video is like it's like a therapy session. It's like an interview. It's like a documentary, but I'll have to give it some special name for it. And that's all I can say about my history in the martial arts. That's all I can say about my history of what I had earned. That's all I can say about my history. That's part of my medical history that involves myself in the martial arts. All of it is about my medical history and my martial arts history that, to me, really made Shenmue what it is. But if, like, let me say this. If I can never, even if I can never get the Shenmue Dojo to admit these things officially, I can just get some admins to kind of guide me with this that have some compassion for me, in the Shenmue 500K group. But then we get these fancy Shenmue Dojo guys, and these guys in Australia, they don't realize I'm Ryu Hazuki from my history. Maybe they realize it, maybe they just want to deny it as much as they can. You see, I was online one time with this Shenmue Dojo, but they, it wasn't a very I'm not represented correctly by my teachers. I'm not represented correctly by my myself and whatever. But for different reasons, it's not made official yet. So they can't give me the right respect for who I'm supposed to be in my history, according to Shenmue, according to my history in the martial arts. I'm just doing the moves. But then I can't say, oh, I'm Ryu Hazuki to these Shenmue Dojo guys, to these guys from Australia, because they'll laugh at me. They'll think I'm a joke. They'll think I'm just pulling their leg or something. But then here I am doing the moves, and I stand 5'9" in height. I have dark hair. I have slanty eyes like this Japanese iconic character of Ryuzuki. I have brown eyes. I have skin tone like him. My hair still combs mostly like him. I do moves like him. Well, I must not be Ryuzuki. Maybe I'm Crash Bandicoot or something. I don't know what I am. Honestly. But if anything, I know I'm this Shenmue anyway. Okay, thank you everyone. I'm Rich Ryuzuki, 81.